it could be a police station, it could be the court, it could be anywhere else. Basically, before he becomes an extremist, the first stage, my experience is that he is wronged somewhere by someone. Maybe he is deprived of small little land holding that he had through fraudulent revenue record entries, and suddenly he realizes that he is owner of a piece of land, but on paper the land doesn't belong to him. He needs, say, financial assistance. He goes around, requests people, he is not obliged, instead he is humiliated, he is maltreated. Somebody in the family is sick, he needs him or her to get treated, could be mother. We have caught certain cases where they stole, they robbed, and the fellow said, I need money to get my mother treated. My mother is lying on the bed. She is on the deathbed. And let me narrate to you an incident of a very, very young man, and I am referring to 1978-79. In Peshawar, in the cantonment area, which is called Sadr area, 2 or 3 shops were burgled. Traders, shopkeepers protested, and they said, we would not open our shops, we would be on strike till the government assures us that we would be protected, security would be provided to us. We held meetings with them, and we were compelled to post policemen on top of each shop, and of course on the roads also. And to our utter shock, one fine morning, then I was SSP Peshawar, I get a call from one of the trader. He says, sir, and a very, very well-known shop in Peshawar, those who of you who are familiar with Peshawar, Mulako is the name of the shop. He said, sir, my shop has been robbed. I said, we had a man on the rooftop of your shop, and police was there. How did it happen? I went, he was right, it had been robbed. We started tracing the case, and ultimately we got hold of a young man who was, I think, hardly 16 or 17 years old. He narrated a story. He said, my father remarried, I was maltreated by my stepmother, my mother had died. I went around, begged people for support, and no one helped, no one obliged. So he asked me, sir, what should I do? You tell me, what should I do? So we called meeting of all elders of Peshawar city and the cantonment, and I presented this young boy to them. I said, who is to blame? Shouldn't we call that father here now, and he should explain to the society what has he done to his son? How has he treated his son? So, Nabil, when we go into the causes of extremism, well, these are the factors which actually make somebody initially, he feels disgusted with the society, with the family, with the relatives, with the friends, with associates, disgruntled, frustrated. And then he says, what is the use of doing all this? I mean, what should I do? What is the option available? So when he is nursing such ideas and such strong views, he comes across an extremist who says that, look, we are in search of justice. We want people to get prompt justice. We want to help poor people. We want to do this. So he easily walks into the corridor of the extremists. And then, of course, when extremist is not properly taken care of, he is not properly treated, he becomes a terrorist.
Brigadier sir, would you like to add
I
something?
just wanted to add a word of caution here. It's a lot of words of wisdom that we heard. The word of caution is that many terrorists and many extremists hide behind exactly this argument, that a lot of injustice had happened around them and that's why they are reacting. Philosophically speaking, a wrong in which you go and commit atrocities on innocent people is not justifiable even in war, where we say that everything is fair in love and war. Even there's no justification of killing innocent people in a mosque or in a home or in a mahalla or in a market. So let's make sure that all of us sitting here commit today that we will not let the extremist and the terrorist hide behind this agenda. Okay. That he is just a victim of circumstances, and because of that, the fact that he is a victim, therefore the only option that was left for him was to go and explode himself and kill hundreds of people. I think it's an extremely important argument here. At a philosophical level, let's be more like the believers of Immanuel Kant, who says that a wrong is a wrong, and it is not justifiable because of the means that you are using to justify it.
Okay.
On two aspects, I couldn't hear the name, but I think our young man from Risalpur,
Ji, sir.
he talked about how to prevent extremism in an institution. One aspect, of course, is to which Brigadier Rana referred, that as far as employment or deployment of security staff is concerned, I agree with him, and I'll only suffice to say that they have to be deployed invisible but effective, and I think no one knows better than General Asghar Rector himself. As far as this aspect is concerned, they should not be visible to the students. They should only become visible, or they should make their presence felt to the person who actually invites their presence.
Okay.
This is one. Secondly, as far as institutions are concerned, I have no experience of having worked in an institute, but if I may propose that it may be difficult for faculty to know which young mind or who could be the young person who is actually nursing feelings of extremism. I think there should be a forum of informal discussion other than the curriculum, where every young man or a young lady is asked to express himself or herself of any strong view that he nurses, and he feels that he or she feels that it is absolutely justified. Then it can be debated, and I think solution found out whether he or she is right, or what he or she is nursing is not based on facts.
So another solution is to cut down our lecture duration from 3 hours to 1.5 hours? Everybody agrees with it? Okay, Khalid, will you please turn towards? Okay, can you please introduce yourself?
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Neela Majaz.
Okay.
I am from NBS. My question is regarding the role of media. Now, Brigadier Rana here said that we should cultivate hope. Cultivating needs time. It's a seed. We need to sow it, then grow everything. Now, every now and then, 24/7, what we see on television is bloodshed. Every news channel, we see bloodshed. We don't have time for cultivating hope. Do you think the role of media is correct at this stage?